How's it going? Um, um, oh, here we go. What's up, homies? Come back. This is a face reveal? Exactly. IRL. Face reveal. Let me make sure YouTube understand what's popping, what's going on. Welcome to Bobtown News Midterms. Special election coverage. I'm gonna also probably have election coverage again tonight at around 6. But in the meantime, I'm probably just gonna have like some fun, kind of going over polls and stuff like that, especially because this is the thing, that will, um, be able to be recorded. Let's see. Hello. Sure, 3 meals. Alright, so, here we go. We're back. Um, you know, alright, so, by the way, if you want to be featured on the show here today, yes, it's a show. Let me know. Um, Let me know and I can get you on. And you can go ahead and you can call into the show and voice your opinion
You guys getting up in the world there.
on things like opinions. It's kind of funny. So anyway, this is the Independent. I'm just doing a quick little
Again.
live thing. So I'll kind of put that in for some background noise for now. Alright, so. Yeah, but if you want to be featured on stream, call in. Okay? Let me give you the one moment. Sorry, one sec. You know what? Enjoy the polls live. One moment. In the meantime, yeah, let me give you the number. Okay. All right. Let me see. All right, Sonia. Phone. Yes, everyone. You should call in. Number to call 202. Hello. Wait, test. All right. Number to call is 202-599-8073. Again, that's the number to call.
Just sit on the bench right there. Aiden, go sit right there on the bench. Aiden. Bench.
So go ahead if you want to call in.
Okay.
I'm gonna call in. Again, number to call 202-599-8073.
I mean, let's think on it. That's okay. Started circling. I was like, wait a minute. I don't know him.
Thousands of ballots.
Yeah, we've got plenty of ballots, and you're not the first person today either, so. Okay, we need your driver's license.
Oh, 202 599-8073. Go ahead and call. Please give it a call. This is the Bobtown News official number. Yeah, this is the official work. Go ahead and call in so you can get some good viewer interaction. You can go ahead and tell your opinions on whatever. Again, let's go ahead. It's the number to call. 202 599 8073. I'm free. I can't, bro. Please go ahead. Call out the number. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. And right as you please though call in. The nice and great. You call in. Bob 10 News live stream. All right. So go back. Pennsylvania. Then decent amount of polls now do have. I mean, you know, as we see this, polls usually kind of lag behind a little bit. So it's honestly gonna be so different. But anyway, it's gonna be hello. It now has audio. I now have audio. I now have audio. I now have audio. I'm sorry about that. Usually kind of lag behind a. Now have audio. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So go ahead and call it. Anyway, so honestly, as we see this, it's about split. So I need to get a piece of paper, but one Fetterman. So wait, how many total? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I better not forget, but 14. Uh-oh. Where am I? Oh no. I lost it. Oh my god. There we go. 14, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But as you can tell, and then here, this one's even. So really, as you tell, it's gonna be such a crazy. It's gonna be such a crazy, close. It's such a. It's gonna be a crazy close. It's gonna be crazy close. I mean, as you can see, you know, Fetterman has lost a lot of ground in a lot. But if you look at the Imperial Postal for Mastriano, it's like he's probably gonna win. I'm pretty sure I fixed audio though. Got some polls live. Yeah. Alright, so Pennsylvania governor race, as you see, like, look at this. So he's up 10, but then, with the Senate race, it's, in terms of this part, now polls, especially if you're winning by 0.5, isn't actually gonna really necessarily, in fact, really won't, decide. But, you know, so that's kind of side. But, like, look at this. I mean, I honestly think, look how, I think really this is kind of like, someone already called. It was just, I don't know. Yeah, no polls have, a comfortable win in Pennsylvania governor's race. Surprisingly, despite, some other things not being that way. Um, actually, I'm gonna pin that. Let's see. Oh, but go ahead. Call in 202-599-8073. Um, sec. Uh, all right, let's see. All right, so honestly, that's my prediction. Let's go back to radar. The storm's starting to leave San Francisco again. I don't think that's gonna affect out much. Maybe some morning bits, but I think, especially for a state like California, it's not really gonna matter. Um, yeah. So it's honestly, but that's probably gonna be Shapiro by a decent amount. Let's see. Okay. All right. Um. Anyway, let's see. Um, the VA2. In fact, VA7. I'm expecting it not to be this close. Oh, this is interesting. Actually. Um, interesting. All right, let's see. Um, let's see. District of Columbia for president general election. You can actually see the vote, which is kind of cool. That's funny. Yeah, cause but if you look at how different they are, from changing from November 2nd or from June 30th all the way to November 2nd. Um, go over to Florida. I'm surprised how close this most recent poll is here. Let me see. Because this doesn't make a ton of sense. So close. Um, let's see. So anyway, um, yeah, I fixed it. Let's see. Um, let's see.
What's up, chat?
Hi, how's it going?
What's up, chat?
How's it going?
I'm voting on the midterm.
Great. I'm so glad that you are voting on on the midterms. Um, so
Yeah.
my question for you is, what race do you think what race are you looking at? What's one of the main races
I gotta. What are the main races?
um in terms of for this well,
Wait,
I want to get your opinion on the Pennsylvania race.
the Pennsylvania's. Well, personally, the Pennsylvania race is like almost as good as the race that's happening in France right now, where they race to see who can eat first. I know, it's really cool. I watched it yesterday. They died.
Thank you very much.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, thanks for calling in today.
Yeah, I called him.
Do you have any other anything else you want to say?
Do I get well what I like Donald. I'm David.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I agree. Now, one of the things I was wondering about you is that in terms of for the Pennsylvania Senate race with Fetterman was ahead for a decent amount of time and now is no longer ahead in a decent amount of polls. So what uh what do you think about that? And do you think that Oz will win, or do you think Fetterman will win, or do you think the any of the third party candidates
Well,
might win?
personally, I'm um I'm hoping the American Communist Party could actually get some seats this time. You know, the cpusa.org, or just get rid of the .org. I just Googled just the CPUSA. Yeah, I feel like they're not they're not represented enough, I think, by the people.
How do you think communism would work out for the United States of America?
I think it would work out.
How do you think it would work out? What about it would make it so
I
great
mean,
for the United States?
well, personally, in Pennsylvania, I feel like they need a bunch of changes over there, and communism is one of them. Most other states, I feel like, are fine. Pennsylvania, however, is like the main state that needs communism. Pennsylvania will just die otherwise. Like they're already, yeah.
Well, I guess that's very I feel like that's some
Yeah,
yeah, that's something not a lot of people really talk about at all. So I'm really quite
mhm.
interested on like what about communism would help Pennsylvania though? Like what aspects of it? Like the like
So
I'm just wondering.
I think people who live in Pennsylvania, I feel like have too much freedom. I feel like we need to take that away from them because
Oh,
they've proven they can't really handle it. It seems.
right. So you're saying something like you just think that they have too much freedom.
Yeah, I think Pennsylvania has too much freedom. So I feel like fascism could also be a good, but I feel like the Communist Party is like, I don't know, more accepted by 14-year-olds who aren't voting yet.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think if you're a Pennsylvanian, I would like you to call in and I'm wondering what your opinion on that
Well,
is.
I'm personally a I'm a dual person, so I'm Texanian and Pennsylvanian.
Yeah, but anyway, number to
Texan.
call 202-599-8073. It's really
Yep.
it's a great number to call.
Yeah, I'll call it again.
Yeah, but I guess is that all you have to say?
I mean, yeah, but I'd say just one last thing. I'd say
Mm.
that the government is like overrated. I feel like we should just not have midterms. We should just keep the same people in power forever until they die, and then pass it down through family. Because I feel like that would work out.
I think that's quite absurd.
I mean, I do. I feel like we have fuck. Sorry. We have
Whoa.
I messed up my my speech delivery. Well, I'd say basically that so basically I feel like we have too much. The people are stupid. We like you're stupid. And I feel like we have too much power to decide and stuff. So I feel like what we should do is just take away our power. Our power sucks. We don't need power.
Okay. Well,
We
thank
don't,
you. Thanks.
we don't need
Thanks for
power.
calling into the
Uh,
Bobtown
you're welcome.
news show. And
I'm going to your house. I'm
yeah,
going to your house.
don't call back.
I'm going.
Okay. Well, anyway, if you want to call in and be serious, let me know. 202-599-8073. That's the number to call. I'll be right back. Alright. I'm back. Anyway. Heading back over here. Let's see, so yeah, anyway, if you want to call into the show and get your opinion on this, just go ahead and call the Bobtown News phone number 202-599-8073. That's the number to call, number to hop on, number to go ahead and say whatever you say, but please don't say anything that's bad. Like our last caller who's trash. Anyway, alright, so let's see. So I guess this is all. I don't understand why they give us all Eastern. That's kind of like rude. Washington Post. I guess Washington. That makes sense. So I guess the latest. Let's see what's. Because Hawaii is 5 hours behind. It's 7 p.m. But I'm actually Pennsylvania.
This season, the NBA is full of great rookies.
Don't care. He's back here. Alright, so expected after election day. Click on that. Yeah. Let's see what insight they got here. Watch District 7. 8. Let's go ahead. Let's see on these races. I'm gonna go over here. Let me get rid of some tabs. Okay. All right. I'm gonna actually duplicate this tab. Let's see. Okay, so house in Pennsylvania.
Ladies will help you.
Where is
And then fill out the ballot
Pennsylvania?
here, and then give it back to them. That will be counted as a provisional ballot.
Wait,
So
A, B,
they're
C,
looking
D.
for your.
Pennsylvania. I found it. Pennsylvania. Is it District 7? District 7. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be close. Um, District 8. Let's see if this will be close. Seems like it's probably gonna go to the Democrat. Again, things can change, but wait, what else? In 17, they want me to go to. That's also quite close. And so I have some even. Let's see, they don't really have much that's that great. So that's not necessarily great. I don't love that. Anyway, but again, um, I'm also live on Twitch, just to let you all know. Also on Bobtown News, I'm streaming there as well. If you want to head over there, there's not much of a point when you can watch on great YouTube. But if you go to twitch.tv/Bobtown News, and also now go to overall, it's very good. Again, number to call 22599-8073. About as good as it can get. Alright, let's see what else I'm gonna go to. Head to, I mean, West Virginia, I don't think will be, or what, 3 districts. These polls ended, let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be quite the blowout. I can't imagine it's gonna go any other way. This one's actually kind of close. You look at what the A plus is, which usually is really good. It looks like Republican will win, so that's back in the day. That's crazy. Back in the day. Funny. Alright, anyway, let's go back to present day West Virginia. Yeah, that's pretty intriguing. Owen and Mansion, I wonder. It's funny they already have this up. Alright, uh, let us see. But please, go ahead, call on 202-599-8073. Look in here. See, just some small storms kind of around in the area, but I think it'll be good. Again, it's not gonna affect turnout, especially in something like California. In swing states, I feel like rain every now and then does actually kind of somewhat decide an election. Just telling me. Again, they're not gonna be able to call anything.
Call from.
Gone.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello?
Call from.
Gone.
To accept.
Um, that did, that was very bad. What happened here? I don't know what happened there. What about that call? There we go. We'll call. We'll call them back.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Gone. What's up?
I
God, here to give my opinion on the election.
how's it going?
I'm God. Personally, I feel like that the election should be more geared towards religion. That always it works out because I'm God, and that makes sense, right? Yeah. Well, I feel like not enough people put their hearts in me. um, I personally think that that's a problem and that we need to correct that. Because I don't have enough power. I want more power because I'm God. Like I don't have enough power to control all your elections shit. Language, me.
So I'm sorry. This is the second time language. This is the second time. This is supposed to be a friendly show. I'm sadly gonna have to.
No, but
Um,
I'm God. You can't remove me. I'm God. I'm God. Please, I I need the money. But like, so think about it. Think about it. You dum dums. You
no,
weirdos.
no, don't say that.
Okay, you friendly humans. You guys don't do what I want because I am. I forgot what I did. I don't have. I don't have. I really don't actually have. What did I do again? I think I have a Bible around here somewhere that I can read. Like, I probably don't have a Bible, honestly. I think I did something, but like now I didn't. I don't do stuff. I guess. So I want to do stuff again. So
Yeah,
no.
I mean, I guess I'm kind of a little bit confused there. Some would say.
I mean, I'm confused, but like in confused in a good way. Like I enjoy being confused because I'm God. Like it's just a I think it's a normal God type thing, honestly. Like it's like because I'm since God is me, I know what I do. I think sometimes only half the time though. Like sometimes I'm just like God, but then I'm like half God. Like I'm kind of like God, but like I'm like more like God-ish. Like it depends. It depends on like what your views of God are. Personally, I'm pretty God. But I don't know. Someone might think that I'm not. I'm not like full God. Like I'm at least must be like at least God.
Yeah,
Like I'm kind of God. Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
I'm yeah. Like like it's weird because I'm God, but I sometimes I don't feel like God because I'm not God, but I am God at the same time. Like it's confusing sometimes, and it's just hard to keep track of it a lot of the time. Like think about it. Think about if you were changing into different people every other day. Like I'm like I'm kind of God. Like sometimes sometimes I'm God. Like other days I'm not God. Like personally, like you can't really tell what I am or am not God because it's like um it's really like it's God like you can't really tell like it's I'm God but like sometimes I'm not and then I don't but I still have like God powers whatever or something so I'm like it's really interesting because I act like God and I look like God, except I don't look like anything because I don't have any mirrors, so I can't actually test that fact. I think, yeah. I mean, I could get a mirror, but like I don't really want to because that's too much work, honestly. But I need so like I'm not even sure if I look like God, but I act like God even on days when I'm not God, but I'm not God on those days. It's like I am God, but I'm not. I'm not God. It's like it's super weird, honestly, because God is like I'm God, but I refer to God in the third person, but even though I am God, despite the fact that I am not God, but am God at the same time, and so I'm both God and not God. Some days, but some days I'm just full on God, and some days I'm just full on not God, and some days it's like a mix between the two. And some days aren't days. Like sometimes they're just things that happen. It's it's like it's really like confusing me because it's like it's I don't know half the time if I'm full on like I don't even know if I'm God sometimes. Like God, like, I,
All right, so anyway, back to it. All right, if you want to go ahead and chat, please do so respectfully. I think that the prank con enough is that's enough. You know what I'm saying? Um, thank you. It's very disrespectful for a high quality news organization. Number to call 202-599-8073. Even at lunchtime, I'm surprised there are this many people at Bulls. I don't know what this is, but yeah, so Oz is now set here. I'm machine. I feel like their forecasts are pretty good. I mean, it seems like, of course, that they're not really gonna. Democrats are not gonna be able to gain much. Of course, in fact, if they were to gain at all, I'd be surprised. Chat, go ahead and say hello in chat in order to be featured on live stream. Yeah. Send hello. See yourself. There, I think. There we go, that worked. Good stuff. This is so much fun. Okay. Alright. Such great content this is today. The end of it. Funny because it's .co.uk, so. There's nothing going on though over here on the East Coast and really where a lot of voters are. Think about in this area, population is it's pretty crazy. Just between this little area right here. The U.S. Senate. Now I want to keep this open. Florida. I think it's gonna be around. Let's see. Go to Senate. They ended yesterday there. New Jersey. We should actually go to New Jersey. Let's see. Shout out. I mean, you're on the live stream. Congrats on the win for that. New Jersey. Let's see. New Jersey. I don't know what there is. Let's see. U.S. House. Oh wow, this is really close actually. Let's see anything. Looks like 7 is quite close. Let's see for. They don't have Senate. Yeah. Wait. Hold up. Pause. They do. They do. You need to see the election. So the issue also is that results usually come so much later. So honestly, I'm probably gonna try to keep the live stream running overnight. But that's true. Again, number to call 202-599-8073. Go ahead and call in.
I want to be quarterback.
I don't care. O-L. Yeah. New Jersey 7th. Let's see. Don't listen to Hungry. Play Bed Wars. I mean, Bed Wars is like so time consuming, you know. You know. Um. The settings issue. We need to ban some people, that's for sure. This chat has really turned wacky, guys. I'm very sorry about that. Let's see. It's on the midterms. It's such a high quality thing on the midterm elections. And the midterm elections are one of those things that's just so high quality that it's so good. You know? It's one of those things and it's like, so, you know what? If you call in, you get to be featured on the show. You get to be, yeah, if you call in though, it's just, you get to have such high quality. You get to call in about the midterms or really anything else. 202-599-8073. 202-599-8073. Number to call. Fact. Let me put this up. Yes, you should call in though. It'll really make this show so much better. Alright, there's the phone number. Anyway, that's the number to call. Hello, how's it going?
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello.
What's up, chat? Today we're gonna be figuring.
No, sir. Excuse me, sir. Sir. I have now muted you. This is enough, okay? I don't want you. I don't want you calling in anymore. Okay? No, I don't want you. let me hold up. Let me call back. Let me call. It's Chris K back. Say anything you want at all. Except for bad stuff. Pick up Chris K. The 703. Pick up. Pick up. Pick up.
You have reached Angela Kaiser.
That's bad. Anywho. The other thing is if you want to call in, you can also leave a voicemail and I'll call back. If you just leave your just say your name and then I'll call back and I'll try to call back immediately. But if you just call, leave a voicemail and I'll call back. 202-599-8073. It's the number on the screen. Let's see what Ballotpedia does. Slash says. But again, please, if you can, go ahead and call in. Let's see. Alright, again, go ahead and call. Let's see, New Jersey 7th District. Much more sensitive. Other than a lot of. That's alright, yeah, so. Yeah, wow, look at the primary blowout. Oh my. Let's see for this. Wow, this was a lot of candidates running, clearly. So is he the incumbent? Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, I can't imagine.
Okay.
Go ahead. Alright, so anyway, each let's see. So Alaska. Oh, is Murkowski running? I never realized that. Okay. That's funny. Yeah, just go ahead and call in. If I somehow miss your call, I'll call you back immediately. So get ready. Alright, so let's see. So the toss-ups. President here doesn't actually show really any toss-ups. Arizona, I feel like Philly should win.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 703397.
Someone called and somehow I missed it. I'm very sorry. Please call back. I'm now live on it. Live on the phone. Go ahead and call back. No, I'm not. Please call back. My bad. Yes, there's not much going on right now other than people voting. Kind of boring. Hello?
Call from.
Gabby.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi, thanks for calling into Bobtown News.
Oh, hi.
Well, I'm wondering of all the elections, which one do you have any opinions on which one might be the closest?
I don't know what's going on. I don't really know why I'm here. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, bye.
Again, if you have anything to say, go ahead and call in 202-599-8073. It's very good, very fun. Good call. It will be. You call in. Let's see. The leading state. Honestly though, I feel like it's close, but it's just like, yeah, I think that Oz has been able to be a little more somewhat like moderate for people, and people like think that he is, whether or not he is. But people, whereas I think Doug has been a lot more like, oh yeah, just I feel like that part kind of like, but honestly, I think we'll be able to comfortably win. Again, go ahead, call in. Want to call in, sir? I have something to say. Okay, you can call back. You can call back in. You can call back in. It's a free show. 202-599-8073 number on the screen. Can fan. Very same. Let's see. Maryland polls ended relatively recently. This will be interesting to look at. Now, I had a Republican governor, but I think that, I mean, really, Maryland is pretty Democratic state. Let's see. Oh, A plus ABC News Washington Post. Okay. Versus called correctly 74%. That's pretty good. Anywho. Yeah, so it looks like a lot of them just have more winning. Also, Westmore has a book, doesn't he? That's actually kind of funny. I just remember that. Again. Yeah, that's like by him. That's funny. That's actually funny. I see. Yeah, he does. That's funny. I wonder if he has gone in the books. Let's see. Westmore. Interesting. Nothing. Oh, let's see. Guys, we have to review the merch. We have to review the merch. This better be good merch. Better be good. If this is not good, it's a waste of time. What do you rate this merch? I think this could be... Actually, that's pretty cool. Actually, I need to get some merch, bro. It's actually funny. Alright, what's more? Actually, this should work. Yeah, of course, sound's not gonna work. Bro, something messed up with my sound, and now it just doesn't work.
Where we are right now on the campaign trail. And I think the first question that we have to start off with, how are you feeling now? I mean, we are what, almost
Geodash.
election day at this point. How are you feeling about how things are progressing on the campaign trail?
I mean, we're feeling good because I think we've continued to do what we did during the primary, which is just to outwork everybody. And you know, the mentality that we have in our campaign is we are 10 points down every single day. And so what are we doing today to go make up those 10 points? And the best thing that we can do is what we did during the primary role, which is
chat. I've now received 100 messages today with Restream chat. I feel so
listening to
cool.
Their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations, sharing our vision, our values, and showing that we have a bold and a collaborative future and a plan to make sure that we can build an inclusive Maryland as we're going forward.
It's interesting that during part of the campaign trail, you guys...
It's WSA 9, which is a DC station.
In heavily red
counties.
Intentional?
Very intentional. You know, I said during this...
I would say this is one of the things that Fetterman has also done in PA. Trying to, I think he's gone to every single... Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's gone to every single Pennsylvania county, which is however many counties it is, but 20-ish over, maybe a little bit, which is a decent amount. But anyway, he I think that's one of the things, especially now, is that honestly, it's better going to where you're probably gonna lose than going to somewhere where you already know you got the vote. Just so you can. I mean, it's always been this way, but I'm saying that I feel like, especially with a lot of now being elections swinging just because of the people who can never decide. I think that's very helpful for this
entire process. That we are going to go everywhere. We're going to hit all 24, and we're going to spend a lot of time there. And people say, you know, well, we've seen you a lot here in the Eastern Shore.
And let's Oz interview.
Tonight, we are less than 40 days until the midterm elections, and it is possible the Keystone State of Pennsylvania could ultimately be the key factor in determining just which party controls the Senate come next January. And you may know him from his daytime TV show, but tonight, Dr. Mehmet Oz is trying to convince voters in Pennsylvania he's the right man.
So I will say one thing that's kind of funny about him. He's a cardiac surgeon. Yeah, which is like, I think that's not good if you're like a doctor, but you know, that's all him. The only thing I will say is he's done like so many like odd things.
For the job. We got a chance to run with him in his first network TV interview of the campaign as he races toward November.
Oh, this commercial is really bad. I have to say.
We're going to show America just how fast you are.
As long as I can still see you when we're done.
2, 1, go!
It is an all-out sprint for Dr. Mehmet Oz.
Hold up, we gotta do. No, guys. You know what time it is? It's a technique time. Say it with me. It's technique time. All right, we gotta see how his running technique is. First of all, this start. She's kind of starting off with a little bit of a worse start, I say, sitting kind of up, and he's down, but he's gotta stay down. But you see, he goes up almost immediately. You want to stay down a little more. So I think this is maybe not the strat. His stride, he kind of like swings his arms over, and she does too.
An all-out sprint.
Also, I don't know why you'd run in a jacket like that, but you know, whatever.
Dr. Mehmet Oz in what's become one of the tightest and most consequential political races in the country.
We can do
Convince voters that he has the right prescription to solve the problems ailing the Keystone State.
How you doing, Dr. Oz?
And so on this crisp fall morning,
Nice to meet
little to no control over. As a general rule of thumb, gridlock is good for Wall Street. Investors like to see the status quo and a split government because it means that very little will get done. There's not going to be any major policy change with regards to energy, healthcare, taxes. No one party can really implement their agenda. Here is some good news, though. Usually post-midterm elections, the market does get a bit of a boost. On average, the S&P 500 rallies about 13% post-midterms.
All right. And Galen, President Biden has spent the past few months touting his economic policies. Has that moved the needle at all?
You know, because the economy, and in particular inflation, is so concrete, it's so obvious to anybody who's participating in the economy, buying groceries, filling their car with gas, it's a difficult issue to message your way out of. What has actually helped Biden is that gas prices are down. They hit a high of $5 a gallon during June. They're now down to $3.80 on average a gallon now. So that is certainly a help to Biden. The other option he has is simply to change the subject, and we have seen Democrats doing that across the country. Looking at data from this election cycle, the number one thing that Democrats have spent the most money on in advertising is abortion. So think of that as an attempt to change the conversation from the economy to something else.
Now, Alexis, our ABC News Washington Post poll shows more than 40% of Americans say they are worse off financially than they were 2 years ago. What do you make of that? And is any of that perception, or is it all reality?
Well, I think my takeaway from that is voters appear ready to blame Democrats for the economic situation that we find ourselves in. You know, generally, presidents and lawmakers get far too much credit when the economy is good, and they get far too much blame when the economy is bad. And again, the economy is impacted by a number of external events, things like the war in Ukraine, a global pandemic, the weather. But on the bread and butter issues, Republicans seem to have the clear advantage here. That poll you referenced, more than 50% of voters say they would trust Republicans more when it comes to the economy, inflation, and crime.
All right, Alexis Christoforous, Galen Druk, thank you both. And thank you for joining us. I'm Diane Macedo. Stay with us throughout the day for continuing coverage of the 2022 midterms and ABC News special election night coverage led by David Muir, Lindsay Davis, and the entire political team kicks off tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on ABC News Live. Don't miss it.
The hottest views in daytime are happening right here.
We talk about things on this show that people don't talk about. That I can't wait to see.
Honest takes from
One great point I wanted to push on is the one
right now. This is the
where they talk about
unafraid.
like how much blame that the current presidents always get. The current presidents always get so much, like, everyone doesn't like them because, like, oh my gosh, like, the economy is bad, and it's like, rarely can one single president actually be able to make inflation bad, one single party be able to make inflation, like, even in one country, normally when one country has inflation, many others do as well. Now, it does depend kind of, but when, like, for example, when you had, like, inflation, so many other countries had inflation as well as the United States. On top of that, and I think that presidents get too much blame. It's sort of like how, I feel like coaches for, like, sports teams do. Anywho, enjoy.
Maybe.
The Incredible Dr. Pol. New episodes Saturdays at 9 on Nat Geo Wild.
Elizabeth Holmes found guilty on 4 counts of fraud, facing the possibility of decades in prison. Now, we take you inside the courtroom and behind the scenes. The Dropout, Elizabeth Holmes on Trial. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis. Streaming weeknights. ABC News, America's #1 news source.
We know in our bones that our democracy is at risk, and we know that this is your moment to defend it.
You must vote Republican in a giant red wave that we've all been hearing about.
Top concern for me, women's rights.
Personally, as a voter, to me, the main one is crime.
I think the state of our democracy is probably the top issue for me.
More or less inflation.
If I need to vote for something, I'm going to exercise my right to vote.
From ABC News Live, your voice, your vote. 2022, Election Day. Here now, Diane Macedo.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Diane Macedo, and it is Decision Day in America. Millions of Americans are at the polls voting in one of the most important midterm elections to date. Here's a live look at Capitol Hill as voters across the country decide which party will control the Senate and the House of Representatives. The Democrats' current majority on Capitol Hill is razor thin, so it will all come down to turnout. Your voice, your vote. We begin with ABC's Justin Finch on Capitol Hill with a breakdown of what's at stake.
Democrats and Republicans campaigning up until the 11th hour, calling in their heavy hitters.
Vote. Get out the vote. You must vote Republican in a giant red wave.
Both parties hoping to win congressional majorities, with all 435 House seats and 35 in the Senate now in play.
It could not be any tighter in Congress.
Meaning control of either chamber could come down to a few races.
Everyone that's willing to go out and go knock on doors and to get out the votes right now, because there is just so much at stake right now.
In Pennsylvania, Mehmet Oz and his Democratic opponent John Fetterman locked in a tight Senate race, casting their ballots this morning and counting on their supporters to turn out.
I'm very proud of how we run this campaign. We want less radicalism and more balance.
The Georgia Senate race also quite tight. Both candidates taking parting shots before Election Day.
You cannot trust Herschel Walker to tell the truth about the basic facts of his life.
And I'm running because I'm sick and tired of people not loving this country.
Senate hopeful J.D. Vance voting Tuesday after former President Trump rallied for him in Ohio.
I think we're in a position where we'll win this race so long as people get out there and vote.
His opponent, Congressman Tim Ryan, trusting the voters.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you concede and you move on. But I feel really good.
And nationwide, record-breaking early voting with more than 44 million ballots already cast. Election officials now advising final results could take days as they process early and day of votes along with mail-in ballots. Diane?
All right, Justin Finch, thank you. And control of Congress could once again come down to the state of Georgia and the Senate race there. Democratic incumbent Raphael Warnock is neck and neck with Republican challenger Herschel Walker. Let's bring in ABC's Ike Ajachi in Atlanta for more on that. Ike, early voting in Georgia hit record levels this year. What are voters there telling you about what's driving them to the polls?
Well, Diane, people tell me that there are several issues driving these voters to the polls, and issues like abortion. And obviously, one of the main issues on top of a lot of minds are the economy and inflation. But I got to tell you, actually just casting your ballot here in Georgia, it's been a very easy process. The lines right behind me at the Buckhead Library here in Atlanta, they're basically non-existent, and voters have been trickling in little by little. And according to state officials, the actual wait time to cast your ballot here in Georgia is just under 2 minutes. Joining me now is actually Kyle Bowling, a Georgia resident. You guys may know him from other places, but man, I appreciate you being here. Nice to be here. I gotta talk to you. I gotta ask you something. Early voting, it's been massive here in Georgia, but you decided to come here today. Why didn't you come before? Why did you decide to wait to cast your ballot today?
Well, I actually tried to go vote last Thursday, but come to find out, me being a new Georgia resident, I wasn't actually able to vote in the district that I went to. So they told me that I'd have to come to this location. When I showed up, it was a long line on Thursday, so I just decided to, exercise my right on Tuesday.
All right, there you go. Now, are there any topics at the top of your mind that actually brought you to the ballot box here?
Yeah, I think everything that is going on today is extremely important. I mean, me being more so an independent, I lean a little bit more to the right when it comes to economic issues, a little bit more to the left in social issues. So being able to, do my own research and really understand each candidate's stances on those topics is super important. And, today I'm excited to, have a little bit of a say in what happens next.
All right, now we got to talk about one of those candidates, the Senate race. Huge race right now between Raphael Warnock, Herschel Walker. It's actually one of the most expensive campaigns going on right now. I know you've seen a lot of those ads on your TV here. Right. How do you feel about them?
I mean, anytime that you're watching the television and you're viewing these campaign ads, you have to take everything with a grain of salt. There's always a side to every story. You have to understand that whoever is endorsing that campaign ad has a little bit more bias to, whatever the communication is in that ad. So being able to recognize some of the talking points that they have in those campaign ads and then going onto the internet and doing your own research is super important. And you just have to make sure that you're not being manipulated by, what you see on TV.
Appreciate you, brother.
Not a problem.
Yeah, you're going to see it behind me. The voters, they're still trickling in here. The ballots close at 7 o'clock here in Georgia, so there's still some time to get out there, cast your ballot. Van, back to you.
And we know the campaigns are working hard to get every last vote out. Ike, how are Senator Warnock and Herschel Walker spending Election Day? And have you noticed any changes in their tone and messaging in these final days?
Well, yeah, so for today, Herschel Walker, he actually doesn't have any events. He's essentially just going to be at his headquarters in Atlanta and waiting the tally vote until the end of the night. As far as Senator Raphael Warnock, he had a pretty busy day today. Earlier today, around 10:30 this morning, he had a vote launch. And then shortly after that, he had a drive-by meet and greet with students at Atlanta University. So clearly, Senator Warnock here is still trying to get out into the community, still trying to get out that vote day.
All right, Ike Kajachi, we appreciate it. Thank you. And gerrymandering is also expected to have a big impact on these midterms. Many states have redrawn new maps favoring one party over the other. It's an issue set to go before the Supreme Court in 2 cases that could have a big impact on future elections. 538's Nathaniel Rakich joins me now with more on that. Nathaniel, where has gerrymandering been a key issue, and how will we see that play out today?
Yeah, so I think 2 states in particular are Florida and New York. So in Florida, for example, the state redrew its congressional districts in a way that really strongly favors Republicans. Ron DeSantis, the Republican governor of Florida, made sure of that. They converted 3 Democratic-held seats into pretty reliably Republican seats and also added another one due to population growth. And then in New York, Democrats tried to gerrymander that state kind of as a way to counteract the map in Florida and such. But actually, that map was struck down by a court. So actually, a lot of the gains that Democrats had hoped to make up in New York aren't going to happen today. So frankly, a lot of kind of who wins the House, given the narrow margin, could come down to just a game of inches in these states.
Now, some states, a lot of them actually, have switched to independent redistricting. Can that help to make things more impartial?
Yeah, definitely. Independent redistricting commissions, states like California, Arizona, Michigan that have implemented them have really kind of moved toward fairer maps that are more kind of reflective of the state as a whole. But that said, a lot of those states that have passed them tend to be Democratic-leaning states. So that's actually contributed to a bit of a Republican bias in the House of Representatives as a whole, in that normally maybe you'd have Democratic states gerrymandering for Democrats and Republican states gerrymandering for Republicans, but a lot of those Democratic states, like California now have these independent commissions. So they've kind of given up some of that advantage. So as a result, there are a few more Republican-leaning states nationally, or districts nationally, than there are Democratic-leaning districts.
Interesting. And how does gerrymandering affect voting rights?
Yeah, so, in lots of different ways, you can have, obviously, if a district is gerrymandered to be safe for one party or the other, your vote is being diluted as a voter in that area. But also, you can not just have partisan gerrymandering, you can have racial gerrymandering as well. And so this is when, for example, a map is drawn to pack black voters all into one district, for example, and maybe in states like Alabama and Louisiana, you could actually support two districts where black voters make up a majority, but in fact, they're kind of packed into one district, which means they only basically get to elect one representative instead of two.
The Supreme Court is set to decide on two cases on this issue. They've already heard one, the other set to be heard likely next month. What are the potential impacts here?
Yeah, exactly. So that first case is about racial gerrymandering and the Voting Rights Act, and they are hearing a challenge to the Alabama and Louisiana congressional maps that basically say that, the plaintiffs are arguing that they need to draw an additional seat for African-American voters. And according to kind of existing precedent, that seems like it should be the case. Mathematically, it is possible. But if the Supreme Court sides against them, then it could have implications for kind of, racial gerrymandering and black voting districts nationwide. And then the other case, which is based out of North Carolina, Republicans there are arguing that basically state Supreme Courts don't have the right to overturn gerrymandered congressional maps. This is based on a reading of the Constitution very literally that says that state legislatures have the power to kind of determine election laws in their states. And if this happened, then kind of one of the major ways to strike down gerrymandered maps going through courts would be cut off, basically.
All right, Nathaniel Rakich, always great to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And let's bring in ABC News contributor, op-ed columnist for the LA Times, Elsie Granderson, for more on this. Elsie, thanks for being here. What's at stake when these district lines are redrawn like this?
Oh, well, all power, but not just power in terms of which party gets in control of the state, but obviously the policies that are put forth in terms of what's top priority. So if you happen to be, a voter who happens to be in a large urban city, you may have issues that are more important to you. You may tend to lean more left. If you're gerrymandered or watered down, you may not actually have enough legislative power to get the things you need passed through. And the same is true if you happen to be in the rural communities.
Let's talk about Georgia, because Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock is facing Republican Herschel Walker in a race that could decide control of the Senate again. So what does this mean from a cultural standpoint?
Well, boy, there are several, I want to say, skeletons in terms of our history when it comes to race. And one of those skeletons is obviously how people who tend to lean towards a white supremacist sort of attitude, how they like to pick and choose representatives from the minority groups that they want to work with. And I'm not calling Herschel Walker any name whatsoever. But what I will say is this. I don't think any rational person would think he is an eligible candidate for Senate. He's been disqualified in so many different ways under normal circumstances, but because of the racial tensions in this country, he has been allowed to continue on and now may very well represent Georgia in the Senate, which will be a tremendous, tremendous crime, in my opinion, because with all the progress we've made in terms of racial reconciliation, if that's the phrase we want to use, healing, civil rights movement, whatever the phrase du jour, Herschel Walker being elected to the Senate represents the exact opposite of all that progress, in my opinion. Again, I'm not saying anything bad about him specifically, but I think we all recognize what's happening here, and it's a doggone shame.
Now, Georgia's race for governor is tight as well. Democrat Stacey Abrams does not have the same momentum she did in 2018 against Republican Brian Kemp. So why do you think that is? Why is she struggling?
She's in a state that she can't win, statewide, and it's the same fate that, I'm afraid that perhaps Beto O'Rourke may be facing. And there are other politicians on both sides of the aisle, if you will, who may be popular nationally, but in the state in which they are most likely to be elected, they can't win a statewide election. At the end of the midterm election season, whenever we finally get the results, and, who knows when that actually will be, some of these individuals who are national superstars but can't win statewide elections are going to have to reconsider how they consolidate their power. because after a while, it's not going to be enough to be a magazine cover fan. It's not going to be enough to be popular on late night television. You're going to want to actually be in a position where you can wield legislative power, and the only way you can do that is by being elected.
All right, LZ Granderson, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.
And our friends at 538 have complete election data, forecasts, models, and analysis throughout the day, night, and in the coming days and weeks. Check out their website at 538.com, or you can just scan that QR code below. ABC News Special Election Night coverage led by David Muir, Lindsay Davis, and the entire political team also kicks off at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on ABC News Live. Don't miss it.
Admit it. These days, what you need to know
seems to change just about every day.
What is it that you really want to know, need to know?
To help you not just get through your day,
but to make the most of it. Feel smarter.
Feel better.
Feel happier.
Well, how about a third hour of Good Morning America?
GMA 3, what you need to know. Now streaming on ABC News Live.
It's all about you.
The hottest views in daytime are happening right here.
We talk about things on this show that people don't talk about.
That I can't wait to see. Honest takes from strong women.
We need all hands on deck, and we need it right now. This is the time to speak out.
Unafraid to get real.
We stick by our points of view.
We're all seeing it differently, and that's the beauty of The View.
And that's why the most watched #1 daytime talk show is The View. Now streaming on ABC News Live.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. But a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different.
Early mornings on ABC News Live.
America's #1 news, ABC News. Most watched, most trusted, and streaming live to you anytime, anywhere, and free. This is ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news, free to you 24/7. Watch America's #1 news whenever you want it, wherever you are, anytime. ABC News Live, streaming live and free on all platforms.
We proved that no barrier should stand in the way of pursuing our dreams. We proved that we're an inclusive state that values every contribution, regardless of someone's sexual orientation or gender identity. And for the LGBTQ pioneers for equality in the generations before me, who endured so much hardship and hurt to make it possible for so many of us, myself included, to live and to love openly and proudly.
Welcome back to ABC News Live special midterm election coverage. That was Governor Jared Polis on election night in 2018, declaring his victory in Colorado, becoming the first openly gay man to be elected governor in the United States. Now, for these midterm elections, Democrats have been banking on abortion rights to be a key issue, but a large percentage of Americans say it is not critical to their vote. A recent ABC News Washington Post poll found abortion was only the 5th most important issue to voters. Joining me now for more on this, 538's Amelia Thompson DeVoe is here. Amelia, thank you for being here. There are 5 states where abortion is formally on the ballot for these elections. Can you walk us through what those measures are and what the questions are that people are actually voting on?
So as you mentioned, there are 5 states where people will actually have the opportunity to vote on the issue of abortion. 4 of those states, voters will have the opportunity to weigh in on the status of abortion within their state constitution. In 3 of the states, voters will be voting on whether abortion should be explicitly enshrined as a right within their state constitution. Those states are Michigan, Vermont, and California. And in a 4th state, Kentucky, they are voting on a measure that has to do with whether abortion is explicitly not part of the Constitution. Of those ballot measures, by far the most important is Michigan, because the status of abortion rights is genuinely unclear in that state. If the proposal passes, then abortion rights will be enshrined in the Michigan Constitution. If it fails, the status of abortion's legality in Michigan is much more up in the air.
Now, in August, Kansas voters rejected a measure that would have allowed lawmakers to place more restrictions on abortion or maybe even outlaw it entirely. Do you think that's any indication of what we might see today and going forward as this issue appears on more ballots?
So I think it's a signal of the fact that abortion does have extraordinary salience in this election, even though, as you mentioned, it's not necessarily at the top of voters' priority lists. The thing that's different is that the Kansas vote was quite soon after the Dobbs decision in June. We're now much further out from that decision. Abortion has faded from the headlines, and voters will be thinking about a lot of other issues when they go to cast their ballot for various candidates. So I would see what happens today as a new signal about how voters are thinking about the issue of abortion and how they're weighing it against the many other issues that they care about.
Do you think abortion will be enough of a voting issue for these midterm elections to actually